Great. Thanks for joining this session. Nutanix Frame, desktop as a service for the multi-cloud world. You will learn how Frame and IGEL are great together. You will see Frame in action from an user and from an admin perspective. I will explain how you can get started with Frame in 5 simple steps. And I will share insights around the architecture around Frame. My name is Ruben. I'm Senior Technologist at Nutanix, and I'm passionate about end-user computing. I'm active in the end-user computing space for a long time, and I'm here to share more insights about Frame and end-user computing. If you ask me personally, what is Nutanix? And I would summarize my response in one simple, powerful word. That word is simplify. Maybe the nickname of Nutanix is Mrs. or Mr. Simplify. How can we hide complexity? How can we make computing, including end-user computing, invisible? And that's what we do with ACI. Hyper-converged infrastructure, core building blocks in a modern data center. That's what we do with ACI. Hybrid cloud infrastructure, core building blocks, leveraging public cloud resources, creating a hybrid cloud infrastructure so that you can run any application, any workload on any location. End-user computing type of workloads and also business-critical applications. Talking about end-user computing is close to Nutanix's heart. 10 years ago, when Nutanix started, one of the core workloads on the hyper-converged platform is end-user computing, and still is very important today for many small and large deployments in the world, with a strong connection to Citrix and also to VMware, delivering virtual applications and desktops powered by Nutanix hyperconverged infrastructure. And with the acquisition of Frame a couple of years ago, Nutanix entered the space of desktop as a service through Frame. With Frame, the control plane, the Frame is a service we operate, and the service can communicate with multi-cloud workloads in Google, GCP, AWS, and Azure, and with Nutanix AHV in an on-premises setup. Alrighty, let's spend more time around Frame. Let's meet Frame. Imagine you use your machine right now. Your machine for sure will have a browser. Imagine you can use that browser, any browser, on any device. And you leverage that browser to access resources, virtual desktops and virtual applications. And the user will log in with a modern identity provider and is able to access these applications directly. Or is able to access this Windows desktop interface as well. These two interfaces are launchpads, web interfaces the user will use to access their virtual desktops and applications. And these apps and desktops can run on-premises, powered by Nutanix AHV, or can run in a public cloud scenario powered by Google, Amazon, or Azure. With CPU, with vGPU, with GPU or multiple GPU-powered instance types. To see that in action, I'm using my machine as a sort of stepping stone to access my Frame-powered desktop. This desktop, as you can see here, is running in Amazon in San Jose. I'm a Dutch guy, I'm based in the Netherlands. And the distance between San Jose and Amsterdam is roughly 8,000 kilometers, 5,500 miles away from here. And this machine is a workstation type machine. That's why I could run this OpenGL application. That's why workstation type application you will see when I launch, for instance, Autodesk and Adobe software, where these applications can run as well. Of course, like video playback, like this awesome video, the trailer of Top Gun, can be used as well. Although these apps don't require GPU to be used, this machine has an NVIDIA modern NVIDIA GPU. And this GPU is being used to run workstation type applications, as you will see in a couple of seconds from now. But also the GPU is, in this case, being used by the Frame remoting protocol, a powerful protocol, remoting protocol we develop ourselves. And Frame from the start, 8 years ago, is born in public cloud, multi-cloud, multi-tenancy, our own remoting protocol which works really well in LAN and wide area network scenarios. This setup, roughly 150 millisecond latency between my endpoint with the browser and this workload machine, in this case in public cloud. but the same story applies for the other public clouds and also in an on-premises environment. The frame control plane is a single control plane to run virtual apps and desktops using any browser. Run any application in your browser, including office productivity, including like high-end graphics, resource-intensive applications, including maybe very legacy applications like Flash or Java, or maybe a legacy browser like IE as an example. Including clipboard support, including audio playback, including 60 frames per second, 4K, multiple 4K screens, including native integration with cloud storage like OneDrive, Dropbox, Box, Google Drive, and many other cool things are part of that. Without installing anything on my machine. No client, no receiver, no plugin, no agent, just pure HTML5. Cool, huh? Right, to simplify my story is like this picture. One of the core messages, as I shared earlier in Nutanix, is okay, how can we hide complexity? How can we make life easy? How can we make it simple? And that's what Frame is doing as well with end user computing. Simple from a user perspective, just access any application in your browser using HTML5. But also from an admin, and I'll share that a little bit later in another demo, is like one click, extreme simple to set up and to manage. There's no 6-day training course and 1,000 pages manual with all kinds of certification needed to like operate a Nutanix Frame platform. Also fast, both from a user perspective, already demonstrated that, up to 60 frames per second, incredible performance using our own remoting protocol, the Frame remoting protocol. And also fast from an admin perspective, using the super admin interface and admin interface to onboard new applications, to create new Frame accounts, to manage multiple Frame accounts across regions, across cloud environments. Super fast and easy to do. And always getting better. We have a cloud-first approach, which means that the service is updated all the time. We have a fast update cycle, and without requiring formal upgrade processes, we make sure that the platform is up to date with new functionality. So Nutanix Frame, summary of Frame is we provide a secure cloud platform that is focusing on delivering Windows apps and desktops to you, to me, to users on any device with a browser. Frame is a service, so not software, and this service is operated by Nutanix. And the service, the control plane, the broker, contains the orchestration engine, contains capacity management, contains image management, contains user profile containers, APIs, analytics, storage integration, like all the elements you need to operate an end user computing platform. And this control plane can communicate or communicates with public cloud resources and as well on-premises resources powered by Nutanix AHV. So there are 5 steps to sort of get started and run a Frame infrastructure. And these steps can be done like in 60 minutes. I've done it myself, and of course this can be more complex based on like different applications or different integration from a networking or identity perspective. But to get started with Frame, it is simple and can be very, very fast. In the middle you see the Frame subscription. This is a user-based subscription, can be named user or maximum concurrent user with different type of subscription models. The first item is you pick the infrastructure, public cloud or public clouds or Nutanix AHV, and connect that infrastructure to the Frame subscription. The second item is you use the identity provider, your identity platform, and connect that identity platform to your Frame subscription. So you can use the IDP and create rules so that the different administrators can access the Frame environment securely. And then you can use the IDP to make sure that the right end users can access applications and desktops. Talking about applications and desktops, the third step is you bring your applications, you onboard these applications into your Frame environment. I will show a little bit later how that looks like. You can use an existing image when you use Nutanix AHV and onboard a complete image, including all your applications. You can install the applications manually or automatically. Yeah, simple, good to go. And the fourth step is you use, you connect your files, the Dropbox, OneDrive, Google Drive, and so on, but also existing file servers in an on-prem environment or existing file servers in a cloud environment. You could use existing like web services, database services to make sure that the applications can communicate and communicate with the backend services. And then the fifth step is you deliver to users. You define launch paths, you define policies, you define capacity, poof, good to go, ready to roll. And these are the 5 steps to get up and running with Frame. This is like the sort of higher level architecture diagram where you can see in the middle the Frame backplane, which is able directly to communicate with public cloud resources through the API gateway. And on the other side with private cloud, Nutanix ASV specifically, through the Cloud Connector appliance, so that the Cloud Connector service, which is part of the control plane, securely can communicate with Prism Central to power on, power off, clone, delete machines. And then the end user, you can see it on both sides, can communicate directly and securely with the production pool machines, the workload machines, which can also be secured through a streaming gateway appliance, a reverse proxy, so the user, without installing a VPN on their endpoint, can securely communicate with workload machines. There are different networking scenarios based on like customer or partner requirements. A little bit too much to discuss that right now, but I can assure there are many great examples and great references also from a networking integration perspective. Frame, as I mentioned earlier, is built as a cloud service. Multiple cloud, multi-cloud, hybrid cloud, multi-tenancy. And with regards to multi-tenancy, this is where this picture shines. You see 3 levels. You see the customer level, you see an organization and Frame account. So the customer level is the highest hierarchy. Under customer, there is one or multiple organizations, and under organization, there's one or multiple accounts. And on customer or organization level, this is where you can connect your identity provider and use that on customer, organization, and even also on a Frame account level to determine who gets access to what. And on a customer or an organization perspective, you can also connect your infrastructure subscription and use that as a fully like flexible platform to deliver like the cloud subscription and the identity providers on different levels. And this is great for enterprises, great for managed service providers, system integrators, to provide access to virtual desktops and applications in a very controlled but still very simple to manage environment. Managing the environment is done through the admin dashboard in the middle or the super administrator. The super admin is where you like configure your customer and organization interfaces, where you create new organizations, new Frame accounts, where you configure your cloud accounts. That's where you use the super admin interface. The admin dashboard or the admin interface is being used for day-to-day activities, onboarding new apps, defining launchpads, defining capacity, do analytics, checking audit trails, like these type of activities. And of course, the launchpad is a way for end users to access their virtual desktops or their virtual applications. There are also different APIs, a little bit out of scope for now, but different APIs to be used as well. But these are like the 3 powerful and easy to consume interfaces. Alrighty, yeah, I think it's right time to switch to an admin demo, which I will do right now. Alrighty, let me log in here. Here we go. Yeah, this is my super admin interface. Right now, I logged in as an organization admin. You can briefly see here that I have access to 2 organizations, and these 2 organizations fit under the customer entity Nutanix demo. And there are already cloud accounts connected. So the first step out of the 5 is already done. Under Ruben test organization, there are already many Frame accounts configured and created, including an IGEL one here. And if I click on one of the accounts here, which I will do right now, this is the Frame admin interface. So this admin interface is being used to manage one frame account, the super admin interface can also be used to manage multiple frame accounts. In a global deployment, that's very handy to do. Just a brief walk through this frame account. Summary here, already configured. Different instance pools are configured. You can see where this one is running. And everything you see here and everything I explain is the same for, in this case it's Amazon, but the same for GCP, the same for Azure, the same for AHV. Same story, same functionality. It's easy to switch between one frame account and another frame account. You can see here is my long list of frame accounts which are part of my organization. Here under Sandbox is where the applications are installed and onboarded. You can use your existing tools, you can use manual installation, you can import your image if you're using Nutanix AHV, and then onboard the application. And onboarding means that the control plane knows, okay, these apps are part of this frame account. Then the second step is you will configure your identity system so that you can define launchpads and connect users or groups of users to that launchpad. And that's done here. You define launchpads here. There are two types of launchpad, a desktop launchpad and an application launchpad. And this is where the onboarded applications are very helpful because you see them here on my launchpad called Design Apps. And their capacity, you define how much capacity you need for each of the instance pools. And as you did see on the launchpad here, so this Design App launchpad will use this Pro 16 machine. And in this example, this is an G4.xl instance type on AWS. Again, similar story on Azure, GCP, or on-prem. And this on the capacity is where you define what the capacity is for that instance type. If I make it 400, the system will automatically clone 400 machines so that 400 simultaneous active users can use the environment to launch one or multiple applications. That's done on capacity. And then under Analytics, under Audit Trail, on the Notification Center, on the status, you can see and also receive insights how the platform is running. And of course, under Settings here is where you can make all kinds of settings, including session settings. What is or isn't allowed on a generic level, that's what this session means, session settings means, or what you can also configure on a launchpad level, if you want to do so. So very in sort of highlight the management, the basic task in a frame account. It's not complex. It's easy to consume. There is no 6-day training course or 1000-page document you need or want to read. It's all online, doc.frame.nutanix.com, where you can just see how and read how things work. Alrighty, let's go back to this one here. No, this one here exactly, and record my continue the demo. Alrighty, great to see this nice picture. Maybe you didn't know, but Netherlands, we have more bicycles than citizens. And this one is in Amsterdam, maybe Utrecht, but I assume Amsterdam, where you can see this nice canal with nice weather and bikes. Really rare to see that combination, but yep, it happens as well. This once in a while happens as well. King's Day, like long time ago, where we all were packed together, or soccer. Some people call it football. We call it football, where a lot of Dutch orange freaks were getting together. This is also a great combi. A nice burger and a nice cold beer. This is also a great combi. Nice weather, windmills, tulip fields. Great combi as well. This is also a great combi. Bitterballen, deep fried meatballs with mustard or mayonnaise. That works as well. Great combi as well. What is the theme? Great combi. Nutanix plus IGEL is great together. Is a great combo together. And to see that in action, I want to highlight the Frame app. I already explained the Frame HTML5 support to run any application in the browser. But what if you have like an Edge OS and an IGEL OS, and you want to leverage Linux? Of course, you can use a browser. But what the Frame app can do is sort of unlocks a set of additional functionality to make it even better on IGEL OS. And that's what Frame app can do for Windows, Mac, and Linux. In this demo, I converted one of my machines to IGEL OS. Pretty straightforward, nothing fancy, nothing frame specific here. This machine is being connected to IGEL IMS and automatically will receive new updates and also will receive a custom partition. And this custom partition is being pushed through IMS to this through UMS through this machine, and the custom partition will contain the frame app for Linux specifically. That's what's being done here. So pretty straightforward, good to go. And then after the custom partition is pushed, the frame app is here to be used, and yeah, just log in, use the frame app. You will see the launchpad. Just click on desktop. We can also auto launch the desktop, and yeah, no rocket science, just launch applications like you've seen in my first end user demo. And now we can leverage a public cloud, on-premises, or both to launch like all kinds of crazy applications or normal applications, whatever makes sense. But yeah, in this case, you see Autodesk Revit being sort of displayed on my IGEL powered device. Great, and like IGEL is part of Nutanix Ready, Nutanix Xyframe Ready program, which means that yeah, there is a strong synergy between IGEL also from an engineering perspective, so that we make sure that both products work really great together. So to summarize my story, Frame is power of choice. Choice from a workload perspective, multi-cloud, hybrid cloud, HV, AWS, Azure, GCP. Choice to run on-prem or public cloud. Choice to run CPU-only machines, to leverage NVIDIA vGPU or NVIDIA GPU or multiple GPU-powered machines. Windows and Linux, apps and desktops, persistent and non-persistent, with built-in one-click, for instance, features like enterprise profiles. One-click cloud storage integration with OneDrive, Box, Google Drive. And rich access through HTML5 browser and Frame app. And the core engine of Frame app is a browser engine. So all the development we've done in the past and will do in the future with regards to HTML5 also apply to Frame app, because the engine of the Frame app is a browser engine. With that, great power of choice, that is Frame. Seeing is believing. If you want to see Frame in action, I've demoed Frame, 3 different demos, but if you want to see it yourself, there are 2 different ways. One way is free 2-hour Frame test drive, or a free 30-day Frame trial. In a 30-day trial, you need to bring your own infrastructure. In a 2-hour test drive, that's all sort of provisioned part of this test drive. So 2 different ways and cool ways to test Frame yourself. Different resources are also available to read about Frame. I wrote numerous blog posts, cool content to read. And also cool content to read is like, how is Frame different than Amazon and Citrix, Microsoft and VMware desktop as a service solutions. It's not a feature comparison, it's just how Frame is different, and cool content and valuable content to read. With that, thanks for listening, thanks for joining this great event. Thanks IGEL for organizing this event, and see you next time. Bye-bye.